great day. We back one more time. Tribe up. Hey, salute to Robin Nelson in the house. Tribe up. Hey, everybody do me a favor. Hit the like, subscribe, share the video. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, I'm Blackjack. This is the House of Cons. Hey, we popping off on the Sunday, January 14, 2024. And y'all see the title of the show, Feather in My Hat. And y'all saw the thumbnail, right? We're gonna get into it. Y'all hit the like, subscribe, share the video if you want to support monetarily. We got the Cash App at the top of the screen. Cash.app/$ House of Cons. Salute. Tribe up. Support the show that supports you. It's strictly for my Nagas over here. We in the stronghold of the Nagas. Salute. Tribe up. Like I say, the title of the show, Feather in My Hat. And we saw that thumbnail. We're gonna look at it one more time from a third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view, because there ain't no bird brains over here. If you a bird brain, you in the wrong place. We're looking from a third eye point of view, and we see the Naga tried up with a feather in his brim, my Naga. And a lot of people might not understand this, but that's what we here to help, my Naga. That's where the House of Cons come in. That y'all know we always spotting it out first, because we always slowing down, smelling the roses. We always connected the dots over here. We always seeing it first, right? Just like the feather in my hat, right? Y'all done heard that before. That's one of my slogans, feather in my hat. A lot of people don't understand why Blackjack be saying that, but we're gonna talk about it today. But before we talk about it, like I said, if you want to join the house, you can hit them $sign in the chat, and it's an option to become a member. My Naga, you try, but we'll just become a member. We got the Patreon on deck. House of Cons on Patreon, my Naga. Tribe up with us if you want the exclusive stuff. We're gonna start bringing it. We're gonna turn up the flames a little bit. We see his people over here on the internet trying to play with us, and we tired of the game. So we finna set the record straight. We're gonna start off with the feather in my hat. A lot of people don't understand what Blackjack mean by that. Let's talk about it. And y'all done heard me before. Feather in my hat, Blackjack. Pull a dart from my back, lay a up-eye flat turmeric con on my map, my Naga. You heard me say it before, right? But it's deeper than that. It's deeper than rap, my Naga. Because when we look up evil, when we look up the definition and the origin of evil, and we talk about the feather, my Naga, from the Hebrew word study, we understand, right? And right here tell you it's interesting that this word Ibra for feathers comes from the Semitic root word Iba, which means the feathers of a dove. However, let's click on it. So we finna set the record straight, and we're gonna lay a little foundation to get an understanding of why the Cons always rocking the feather, and why Blackjack always talking about feather in his hat. Let's set the record straight, because I don't think everybody understand. Hebrew word study feathers, Ibra, Aleph, Beth, Resh, High. Say Psalms 91, verse 4, right? He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. It is interesting that in many species of birds, both the male and female will cover their chicks with their feathers and wings. It is not just the mother bird. Hebrew has no neuter gender. Everything is either male or female. So if we speak of rock, which has a feminine ending, we will call it a rock and it, not a her. Just because birds have a female and male gender and the word for feathers has a male pronominal ending does not mean we need to say his feathers. We can grammatically say its feathers. I feel it is important to give this a neuter ending, because this covering of the Most High, like a bird covering its youth, shall express both feminine and masculine concepts of covering. The female is often associated with caring, loving, and nurturing, where the male is often associated with protection, provision, and discipline. When the Most High covers, it is not only to protect us, provide for us, and sometimes to discipline us. It is also to show his caring, loving, and nurturing for us. The word here for feathers is Ibra, which is often associated with the feathers of a dove, although I have found it used to reference the feathers of an ostrich or an eagle, but generally it is associated with the dove. This is interesting when you consider the habits of the dove. Both genders of the dove take turns sitting on the nest to hatch the eggs, and when the eggs are hatched, both will feed the young with what is called pigeon milk, which both the male and female produce. Since the chicks have no feathers to protect them, the parents would take turns sitting on the nest with the chicks covered over by their feathers. I once watched the dove family guarding the nest. The female or male, I could not tell which, just sat on the nest, motionless, hour after hour. The only movement was an occasional blink of its eye. It sought no water or food for itself. It just remained motionless, guarding its young. About mid-morning, the male flew in and exchanged places so the other dove could take off for its break to get water and food. The male just sat on the nest, also motionless, never moving to get a drink of water or some food, just that occasional blink of the eye. For 24 hours, the happy couple guarded their young, never let anything divert their attention or the welfare of their young. I think it's fitting that as the psalmist follows the bird's motive of Psalms 91, that he will reference the protection of his feathers. It takes two birds working in two shifts to guard their young, but it takes only one Most High to lovingly watch over us 24/7. We have his undivided attention. He will not move from his guard post. We are under his constant surveillance. If there's any threat out there, it has to go through him before it ever reaches us. Salute, tribe. But hey, I just want to lay a little foundation, y'all. We ain't gonna read that whole piece. We're gonna get into why Black Jack always talking about feathers in the hat and what evil got to do with it and what the Semites got to do with it, all right? Because evil means of the feather, right? And you always wonder why your grandma had feathers in her church hat too, right? You always wonder why your granddaddy kept a feather in his brim. I don't know if you really understood, my nigga. Did you really understood the cultural inheritance you was receiving? Did you understand the cultural identity you was being handed down? I don't believe so, but we gonna talk about it here. That's what the House of Cons for. The feather in your cap, my nigga. What it all mean? What it's all about, Black Jack? You just said it was all about evil and the Semites. You said it was all about the Israelites, Black Jack. The term of feather in your cap is an English idiomatic phrase, so they say, believed to have derived from the general custom in some cultures of a warrior adding a new feather to their headgear for every enemy slain, for every colonizer slain, or in other cases from the custom of establishing the success of a hunter as being the first to bag a game bird by plucking off the feathers of that prey and placing them in the hat band. The phrase today has altered to a more peaceful allusion, where it is used to refer to any laudable success of achievement by an individual that may help that person in the future, my nigga. Hey, see, they showed the pretender, my nigga, right? But you know they talking about you, my nigga, right? And we're gonna prove they talking all about you. They show the pretender, they let you know it's the American Indian. Even though this is the fake Indian, they talking about the American Negro. They're not talking about no African. They're talking about American Negroes, and I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove it. Your cultural inheritance, my nigga. Traditions involving feathers and headdress. Examples of the use of feathers relating to the killing of enemy combatants can be found in the traditional cultures of the mountainous of Alberta and the Mandan people of present-day North and South Dakota, both of whom wore feathers in their headdress, and also the Kafirs of Kabul, who are said to have stuck a feather in their turban for every enemy slain. Similar customs are thought to have been practiced by the Mongols, Incas, Caciques, Abyssinians, the Turkomans, the Hungarians, the Dayak people, and the ancient Lycians. Examples of the use of feathers related to hunting can be found in the cultures of highlighted people in Scotland and Wales, where it is still customary for the hunter who kills the first woodcock to pluck out a feather and stick it in his cap. Other examples of feathers and caps which appear to be related to hunters and warriors can be found in mythological stories or historical figures such as the Austrian bailiff of whatever, an aggressor who made switch whatever, shoot an apple, yeah. But you see, mostly it's talking American Indians. When they break it down, they go to talking tribes, the Mandan people, even though they showing hijack, Dakota, they talking Caciques, they talking Abyssinians, they talking America, right? You know who known for the feather, right? Americans. They going to show you some other people with this, right? But let's break it down. This cultural inheritance, my naga. We talking about the feather in the hat. Did you know, my naga? Did you know? Your grandma, big mama, your great grandma, and probably your mama too, always was going to Sunday school. They was going, even though they went to the Christian church or whatever, you know, they got misled. They always kept a feather in their hat. There's so much evidence of it, it's a shame. You know what I'm saying? How many sisters was keeping a feather in their hat. And this is a cultural inheritance. They didn't get it from no Africa, because they never came from Africa. And neither did you, my naga. And see, a lot of people don't understand this where I'm finna go at this. With these church hats, they quite often had fabulous feathers in them. Hit me in the chat if your big mama ever had a feather hat going to church with it. I know she did. If you a real naga, I know your big mama was wearing feather hats to church and big fancy hats all the time. And a lot of people don't understand where this come from until they come to the House of Cons and they go to digging in this feather hat. The American Indians and the tradition of the church crown emerged in the early 20th century, the early 1900s. By then they assimilated you nagas. Many so-called African American women were employed as domestic workers during the week, so Sunday church services provided an outlet for self-expression. The hat was also the outlet for self-expressions, and the hat was also seen as a way to honor the Most High. Like they just told you, covered in this feather, my naga. You think this is a game? You think this is the game? You in the right place, my naga. If you think it's a game, you don't understand how deep we connect these dots. You don't understand we always got our third eye open from a third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view. And we can prove what we talking about with receipts. We don't just pop off talking out the side of our neck. We know what we talking about. We covered in feathers, my naga, and our ancestors handed down to us. And you got fools want to come in here and talk crazy, but it's all right. Ain't bothering blackjack. I get real aggressive with you sometimes, even though I got a soft heart. You know, the people that really know me, you know what I'm saying? But all you fakers out here, all you fake wannabes that come in here trying to discredit our research, man, you can get lost. You can get lost, boss. We know what we talking about over here. This is all real over here, boss. Tribe up, feathers in your hat, my naga. Your ancestors been trying to tell you who you is for the longest. No matter who else been lying to you. Your grandma, your granddaddy been told you who you was. If he's been lying to you over and over again. And it's up to you to start turning around and understanding the truth when it's right in your damn eyes. When you got the truth right in your face and you don't even understand it, my naga. Oh, this feather in the hat. And then the hijack, just like they do when you pull up a Noble Savage, they're gonna show you a fake. They're gonna show you a phony. They're gonna show you a Hollywood pretender.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
When the whole time, the real was you. The real was you the whole time. And it still is. It still is, my naga. Hey, Tribe Buck, support the House of Cons. We're gonna always give it to you first over here. We're gonna always do it first. We're gonna always do it big, and we're gonna always give it to you new. We're gonna connect the dots that other people might have just stepped right on over. Other people might have just missed right on over. Yeah, black man with the feather hat, huh? So-called black man, huh? Oh, why is it so specific? I wonder why. It don't surprise me. Do it surprise you, my naga? Got all these people biting our style. They want to be us so bad. They want to claim your title so bad, my naga. You know, you went from a feather crown, much like a couple of the ones I got, to just putting a feather in your hat, my naga. You've been under the Most High protection for a long time. See the Jacob, my naga. Evil, my naga. And see, like I laugh when people come over here talking crazy, cause I know they ain't done no studying. They don't even know what they talking about. No, they don't even know what they talking about. All they do is sit back and wait on somebody else to do something. Hey, I got a question for everybody that's hating on how we popping off. When you gonna pop off and do your own research? Rid of me that. When you gonna pop off and do your own research? Everybody got something to say about how we rocking out. When they gonna pop out on their own, my dog? It's what's so funny about it. They ain't never popping out. They always waiting on us. They always just waiting on Cons. They always just waiting on the House of Cons, right? Niggas be slick talking in the chat sometime, but they don't do it live. They always come back in the comment section afterward. It be these old Dr. Umar followers, these old Marcus Garbites. And I have to check them. I have to get them on up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I have to get them on. Hey, Bronze Flat Power God in the house. Tribe Buck salute. Yeah, man. Yeah, hey. All the fakers get no say over here in the House of Cons. Fake Nagas, fake Pan-African Nagas get no say in the House of Cons. You getting censored over here. You going against the grain. You getting censored. You get no say over here. Go make your own China and talk about Pan-Africans. You get no say over here, my naga. Yeah, we discriminating. That's right.
You big dumb. Shut up.
Hey, family.
Gets no say.
Down before I make change.
Tribe Buck, y'all hit the like, subscribe, share the video. I just want to pop that on y'all real quick. The feather hat, my naga. Get your feather hat, get your headdress, my naga. Pop off with your culture, my naga. Don't let nobody steal your culture and hijack your culture and act like you ain't supposed to rock out with your culture, my naga. I be popping off in the grocery store, rocking out my culture, my naga. They be looking, nagas be looking at me sideways. Nobody don't say nothing though, right? They might just smile and say, hey. They ain't finna say nothing out of the way, not the blackjack. I guess they can look in my eye. They can tell I ain't even with it. It don't matter how I'm popping off. It don't matter if I'm popping off with a feather headdress and just a feather in my hat. You better not come at me sideways. I'm gonna come in the spirit. I'm protected by evil, my naga. I'm protected by the Most High covering, my naga. You better understand this, my naga. Hey, hey man, I do this for the chosen few. I know a lot of people don't get it, my naga, but I do it for the ones that do, my naga. I do it for the ones that's on the same page with me, my naga. Tribe Buck is strictly for my nagas over here. Support the House of Cons, my naga. Hey, I'm Blackjack. I just wanted to get at y'all one more time. Tribe Buck. We out. Peace.